In case you guys do not know what the event is that I went to, it is the Motorcycle, Mobster, and Mayhem book signing. This year it was held in Lake Conroe, Texas, and the primary host of the event is Sapphire Knight. There's over 100 authors that wrote mobster or motorcycle or mayhem making style books. So I'd never heard of it until Sarah Brienne shared that she and her mother were going to be attending to sign, and definitely hit the nail on the head when she shared that. My friend and I both agreed we're driving from Canada down to Texas to attend this event. And I am so glad I went. Hi everyone, my name is Rebecca and welcome back to my bookish travels. Today I am going to be hauling all the books from the event. I have a couple different stacks that I've kind of grouped together so that it makes it a little bit more of a flowable video because I have a lot of books and you guys wouldn't be here if you didn't want to see all the books. So let's jump into the book haul. So the first 7 books that I have here that I want to show you guys were included in the VIP tote bag for those that had the VIP tickets for the event. My friend and I were lucky enough to be able to each snag a VIP ticket. So these were the 7 books in my bag. Scars of the Soul by Darlene Talman, Connolly's Hoard by D.M. Earl, A Chance at Love by K.L. Myers, King's Reign by Jules Baxter, Counterplay by Jennifer Rebecca, Summer Message by Jamie Russell. 2 things about this one. The author is a genius. If I'd have looked a little bit closer at the event and seen that this was actually book 2, totally would have snagged book 1 and gotten it signed as well, because you all know your girl's got to read it in order. And the second thing is she writes as a duo with another author for a series, and the other author thought, oh, I can sign this, and then she realized that it was only Jamie's book, and she's like, oh, I can't sign. And I'm like, you can if you want to. She's like, no, I don't want to wreck your book. And I'm like, you're not going to wreck my book. If you want to write something in there, I will totally take that. So she decided to write, and her other cohort, Jamie, noticed and started laughing and said, are you writing a dad joke in there? And the girl said, yes, I am. So this is the dad joke in my book. Why does Han Solo like gum? It's chewy. And then she wrote lol afterwards, which is just brilliant. I love it. But the 2 of them were snickering away, talking about it. She was killing herself after writing the joke. When I read it and I burst out laughing, she started laughing harder. She's like, I love your reaction. It's great. And the really great thing is they said their one novel that they write together, the one series, they throw a lot of dad jokes in it. So you know your girl's going to have to find that and read it because dad jokes are definitely life. And the final one that was in the bag, the author wasn't at the event, but had pre-signed the books, and it is Billionaire Lumberjack by Gwen McNamee. So that is the first set of books I wanted to discuss. The next one is just a book on its own. What was really cool is while we were waiting to get into the event, somebody was walking around with a box of books and literally was saying to people, don't look, don't choose which one you want, just grab one. Doesn't matter which one, they're all random, just grab it. And everybody that chose, they were like, oh, this is really good. I grabbed one that was like a little bit of a thicker, chunkier book, and a new friend that I made that was in line was like, oh, that one is fantastic. I ended up picking up Russian Roulette by Sapphire Knight. This book is quite a hefty one, but she said this one is really good. So I have not read anything by Sapphire Knight. I'm very intrigued about this one, and I guess everybody was saying that this is probably one of her better works. So I was pretty intrigued by that and pretty excited to have snagged myself this copy. So the next section, again, it's just a single book that I want to share, but there's a bit of a backstory to it. I ended up, well, I'm going to show you first. So it is One Ride by Chelsea Cameron, and I have read this one before. I've also read Ice by this author, both of which I only have on my Kindle, but this is the reason why this book ended up in my hands. So we had gone up, my friend and I, to Chelsea Cameron's table to get her to sign stuff, as you normally do, as well as potentially picking up some swag, and we were discussing when we went up, her books, and I had said that I'd read One Ride and I'd read Ice, and I really loved both of them. Ice is probably my favorite of the 2, and she started laughing and said that One Ride had been with her for 10 years since it was originally published, and she loves hearing that people have read it and that they do like it. And then she asked where we had come from, and we said we had driven down from Canada, and she was so shocked that she actually grabbed 2 copies of One Ride, and she literally gave my friend and me both a signed copy of One Ride because we had made such a trek to come down to the event. And I just think she is such a sweet author for doing that. Totally did not expect her to do it, but I'm really excited to have this in my collection, and I cannot wait to meet her again in the future and be able to collect more of her books. I'm probably going to have to buy the rest of it to get signed and to have with this one on my shelf as well. So I'm going to reverse these last two sets that I am going to show. And the reason being is this second set, I am not going to go into a lot of detail. They are all from basically the same author, and I'm not going to, as I said, go into a lot of detail. I do want to just state that Sarah Brienne and Jamie Begley are the sweetest. All of the authors that I met are just the sweetest and dearest souls, and I am so excited to have been able to have met them, and I'm so excited to be able to continue reading their works, or with the ones that I've recently discovered, be able to start my journey as one of their readers. But this set is going to be Jamie's books, and there is a lot of them, but I'm going to go through. And again, I just want to say a huge thank you to Sarah and Jamie. They were amazing to actually meet in person, and on top of that, just the kindest soul. And a lot of what was shared by them and also some other authors were straight honest from the heart, and were just the dearest people that I have ever met. And I am so excited I had the opportunity. So I'm going to stop there. Again, Jamie, Sarah, thank you. Here are all of the books I picked up from Jamie Begley from the event. Shades Fall, Riot, Shade. Can we just talk about the fact of the size of this book? It is literally bigger than my head. Standoff, Lucky's Choice, Keeping What's His, Mary Blissmas, Hostage, Winter's Touch, Trains Clash, Standing His Ground, Rider's Revenge, Stalked, the only novel I have not read in the Predators series, I will have you know, T.A., Dangerous Love, Ho Ho Hennessy, Firewalker, Soul of a Man, Soul of a Woman, and Soul of a Demon. And last but definitely not least, Vikings from Mars. And then the in-between to transition to all the rest of the books that I bought at the event, I also have Dark Ties, which both Jamie and Sarah signed. So moving on to the books that I physically gave cash for at the event, and I cannot wait to read. So the first one, obviously, I picked up at the first table I went to, which was Sarah's, and I picked up Luca 2, and she was actually genuinely shocked that I have not read this yet, and I know I'm shocked as well. How could I not have read this as of yet? But she did tell me and urged me to hurry up and read it, because she said that this links into the next book. So, like, your girl's got to read this. So then I also ended up picking up a couple that I had asked authors what their favorite one that they have written was, because there were a lot of authors that were attending this event that I have not read before. So for example, I picked up this one, which is called Pledge Your Loyalty, and this is by Gail Harris and Ashton Brooks. And I also picked up this copy of Rewriting Destiny by Shelley Morgan. I really enjoy asking authors what their favorite one that they've written, or which one would they recommend reading first of their works, because everybody has different things that they'll say. I typically go based on publication dates, but some authors prefer works that they have done later that they really, really like and love. For example, I asked this next author what their favorite one that they wrote, and she could not stop gushing about this one series that she wrote and how she loves each one of the individual male leads separately, but individually and in the moments of their books. And then she shared that there is a compendium collection of them, and in that collection it does give you a better bang for your buck, she said, but it also includes an exclusive short story that is only available in that collection. So obviously I had to buy me this hefty sucker. This is Carrera Cartel by Cora Kenborn, and guys, not only is this book massive, but oh, I'm choosing like a random page. Look how tiny this writing is. It's going to take me, I'm going to be 80 by the time I finish this book properly. But look how beautiful this cover is, guys. This is just, can you just imagine sitting out in public and like reading this sucker? I'm trying not to like spoil myself every time I open it, because I don't want to hit like a page where I get a spoiler for it. But this sounds so interesting. I just loved watching her gush about the characters she created and how much joy they still bring her to this day, that I could not help grabbing this. I also had to pick up 2 books in the Mayhem Makers series. So a number of the authors actually got together and wrote for a Mayhem Makers series that maybe connects with their original series they write, or just a general standalone novel that they've written. And it is for the Motorcycles, Mobsters, and Mayhem series and for the event. And I thought that was so unique and so fun. I would have picked up every single one of them in physical format, but because I wanted to pick up a lot of different authors, I did pick up 2 Mayhem Makers books. Both are retellings. So I have this one, which is called Manic Mayhem by Nikki Landis, and this is a Phantom of the Opera retelling. And then I also picked up this one. This is Cleric by Gail Harris, and Cleric is a Rumpelstiltskin retelling. I love my retellings, and when you're going to throw in like a mobster motorcycle kind of setting, sign me up. And last but definitely not least, but probably the smallest, the last book that I got at the event is Starting Line by K. Marie. And I think this is just a prequel if I'm remembering correctly. But this is the final book that I actually picked up at the event, and I am so excited with the books that I got. I cannot wait to start reading these, and I cannot wait to start saving money for more books in the future because I am definitely going to be attending again. So I will recommend, if you guys want to hear more, I am going to be putting out a couple more videos connected with the event itself and things with book signing events in general. I hope you guys will stick around and watch those as well. Until next time, stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you then. Bye!